Hello everyone and welcome to your favorite news show, Erongo Talk. My name is Leandra Lowe and today we're doing a bit of shopping here at Dunes Mall in Walvis Bay because you know what? It's midweek, it's Wednesday, it's hump day. So as usual, we bring you the latest news, the weather and tides, and then for our interview, we chat with Petronella Valery Petrus, who is the owner and the founder of V's Driving School. Now she's going to talk to us about single-handedly handling this driving school as a woman. So please don't go anywhere because she's also going to give us a driving tip. Please stay tuned. And now it is time for your news, and I must just say that it is almost time for your Christmas shopping. Can you believe that? Now in our news, the much anticipated night market took place at the Tiger Reef restaurant on Saturday, where 50 stalls served a variety of goodies along with entertainment on offer from 10 o'clock up until 8 o'clock. Now the event was initially established as an initiative to support business people by providing them a platform to come together and network. It took place once a month before the arrival of COVID-19. Now due to the pandemic and its associated safety concerns, the market was not hosted in 2020. The October market was the third for 2021 with a fourth set for the 2nd of December 2021. Keep that date in mind. 2nd of December 2021 is the next night market in Swakopmund. Now one of the exhibitors, Johan Viljoen, who sold various sauces, said he created this particular product due to the unforeseen circumstances brought on about by the COVID-19 pandemic. My wife and I both lost our jobs due to COVID. We were employed in the tourism industry. We had to make a plan to make our part-time hobby a full-time job so that we could generate an income. But you can check out this story on our website. That's www.erongo.com.na to hear about what the rest of the exhibitors had to say. Secondly, continuing to develop local aviation and to grow the economy, West Air has been rebranded Fly Namibia. According to West Air Chief Executive Henry van Schalkwyk, both the rebranded name and logo symbolizes their responsibility and commitment towards each other and to forge new connections. Now, as from April next year, Fly Namibia will conduct daily flights between Windhoek, Sossusvlei, Swakopmund, Etosha, connecting the most popular Namibian tourism destinations with major other locations in southern Africa, including Victoria Falls, the Okavango Delta, and Cape Town. Now, according to Van Schalkwyk, the schedule will provide tourists with a cost-effective and efficient way in which they can see Namibia. Now, like I said, head on over to our website. That's www.erongo.com.na to read about this rebranding of West Air to Fly Namibia. And then finally, Good Food Namibia and Promised Land Trust have joined forces to actively address food insecurity concerns in Walvis Bay. Now, Namibia is experiencing acute food insecurity, which leads to malnutrition. This is due to prolonged dry spells, flooding, and loss of income due to the impact of COVID-19 control measures on livelihoods. Now, to kickstart this partnership, a nutrition workshop was hosted with the aim to empower food providers to care for vulnerable children. The workshop informed and encouraged Namibians to change their views related to the value of nutrition, especially related to the children. Now, this platform was also used to spur the attendees on to produce and supply nutritional food from their backyard gardens to their families and communities. Now, attendees received a crash course on optimizing food fuels and the different categories of food by local nutritionist Karen Templin. Each also received a seedling to take home to kickstart their own urban garden project. Now, if you were at Dunes Mall here on Saturday, you could also walk away with your own spinach seedling. But head on over to our website, that's www.erongo.com.na, that's www.erongo.com.na for all the latest news happening right here in the Erongo region.
Hi viewers, I am here with Valery Petrus, who is the owner of V's Driving School. Now I must say I'm really amazed to see that a female is heading a whole driving school, guys. Isn't that just amazing? So Valery, how are you?
I'm good. How are you, Michelle?
I'm well. Can you please tell me about your driving school, the inception and the purpose behind it?
Our driving school was established in 2015, whereby we had to make an extra income. It's actually my husband is co-founding it also, and then I became a full-time instructor in 2017, whereby I fell in love with the business and wanted to go deeper into understanding what it is, what really the business is all about. Okay, our main purpose is to help learners obtain their driving licenses, but we additionally also cater for clients that need NATIS for NATIS transactions to be done. Yes.
So you also cater for them, for example, if they don't want to stand in the long queues, do you have to do bookings on their behalf, or how does it work?
Unfortunately not, as NATIS requires them to do that for themselves because they have to take pictures, and now they have a new system whereby learners have to go for fingerprinting and so forth.
Okay.
Yes.
While we're at NATIS, can you tell me, do you think as a driving instructor that new system that they have in place now with regards to the fingerprints and taking pictures is efficient than compared to the previous one?
Currently it's a bit it's having a bit of hiccups, but we will, with time, I think it will work, because back in the days what NATIS is trying to figure out is that they're trying to exclude the fact that your sister can come write the test for you, or that your sister can come do the driving lesson for you and so forth. So they are trying to minimize that, or they are trying to cut that out. That's why they are using now the new system whereby the learners have to use their fingerprints for bookings, and take a picture whereby you will see mostly on the score sheet or the card, there's a picture of the learner on that card on the day that the learner has to be tested.
Oh, for authenticity.
Yes.
All right, and you seen the fact that you are in a male-dominated industry. How does that feel? Let's just first start there. Have you received any backlashes, and weren't you like a bit, weren't you a bit not confident to say when you started in 2015, when you maybe had your first ever lesson as a female instructor?
Oh yes, not from my colleagues, but from the public, yes. Like people will book, and then once you go pick up the client, some clients will be like, "Oh, it's a woman," and then I'll ask like, "Okay, do you have any discrepancies?" And we'll be like, "Oh no, not really." But then after a while, they will see that actually what we do as a woman and what a man does, it's just the same concept that we're using, and it's about the comfortability of the client. And as said previously, some of the clients prefer women as they are more responsible and more gentle. They say men don't have patience, but it depends from driving school to driving school which one you join at the end.
Okay, and you are the sole person behind it, from admin to the instructing to...
Yes, yeah, but it can get a bit tough, busy. So I'm everything. I'm instructor, I'm the admin, I'm the secretary, I'm the finance lady.
Jack of all trades.
Jack of all trades, yes. At the moment, that's what I do.
Okay, and tell us about your driving school. So obviously there are procedures, like when someone books, how does that work?
Okay, our booking system is very flexible. The booking system, once you call, we will accommodate you according to your availability. Some clients, they work, some are school learners, some clients don't work, so we'll try to fit them in between where the right time for them to have the driving lesson. Sorry.
Okay. And can you just take us through the whole procedure of the lessons? First of all, well, how do you deal with a student that's very anxious on the road, like that never has sit behind a steering wheel,
Okay. So what we normally do is most learners when they booked, they fear. They will say, "Oh, but I can't drive. Where will you take me?" We have places in Walvis Bay whereby we start with learners. We call those ones the beginners. So beginner level, we'll mostly take them to an area where there's no houses, no cars. Mostly it's almost here around, just here back at the back of the mall. This
okay.
open area, open space, whereby they feel comfortable. And once they start building up their own self-esteem, we'll slowly introduce them to the rest of the town roads and those forts.
Okay. And with regards to them having to do the parkings and parallel, how do you handle that?
Oh, the parkings, that's my favorite. Parkings, it's smooth. At the parkings, there's not that much pressure, as it's almost like a formula. We call it like the parkings have a formula, but at the road, there's no formula. So at the parkings, you do, if it's A, B, C, there's no way that you will do A, C, B. So there's a formula for that, and once we taught them that, that's actually the starting point of the test. Of the whole test. If you have to be tested at NATES, you start there at the parking. So parkings, there's not much there. It's very, very nice. One of my favorite places
Your
to
favorite
be.
places.
Yes.
Okay, and how would you explain your passing rate of your students? Do you also offer learners classes, or is it just driving strictly?
Okay, our pass rate is what we believe in. To be honest with you, passing rate, it all depends on the learner. It always depends on the learner. You can train that learner 110% to be correct on that day, but when that day comes, it's up to the learner and what he or she can brought onto the table. But if they really do pass, it's above 90%.
Nice.
Yes,
nice.
it's above 90% because NATES requires you to have 80 and above. So we go above 90, 97, 95, somewhere there. The least we had was recently 86. That's the least we had for the year thus far. But
Wow.
we strive for the best.
And how many clients do you usually have in a year? And is it more females, more males, compared to the fact that now you're female? Have you received a client that was male and then you're like, oh, so maybe you start driving around and you're like, oh, so where's the instructor? When are we meeting the instructor?
No, not really. We have. I would not say we have more male than females. I would say they're equally balanced.
Okay.
Yes. It's just that we have more young people. We have more youngsters than elderly people. We also get people that already have licenses, that haven't driven for years and that wants to come have the practices. Yes.
Okay.
So we also cater for those ones.
Okay. And how would you view our road markings and our driving standard here in Namibia? Do you think as a driving instructor and as a driver for so many years, it's up to standard? And where do you think we can improve, not just NATES itself or not just the government, but also the public, maybe for safe driving?
Okay, with the public, I know there's a lot of people out there that don't have driver's licenses and that are driving illegally around on our roads. With the road markings and stuff, here in Walvis Bay, it's a bit tricky. If you drive around, you will see that at certain points whereby there's supposed to be markings, there's no markings. People are not really understanding how to use the road. They're just following the person that's in front of them, and they do, especially with the railway. Nobody here in Walvis Bay stops at the railway, that side of Simot. So there are rules and regulations which drivers need to follow, but mostly we do not do that. But Namibian roads, we're good. I think it's not that bad.
All right.
Yes.
Any message to your fellow drivers in the public or to your fellow driving instructors?
My fellow learners and those ones that's having the driving licenses already, let's be brave, let's be strong, let's look after one another. Road rage is not the answer to everything.
Okay.
We should always be considerate of learners on the road. That's why we have the L at the back of the car. for the learners to be able to be introduced into what it is, which whereby we need to share. Let's share the road as if it's for us all, because sometimes people will be hootering, people will be peeping, and people will be screaming at learners because of the fact that they are also trying to learn. These people are learning, and we were all there once in a while. So let's be patient and give them that freedom to at least also learn on what it is that they need to know.
Definitely, as we all need to start somewhere and be experts at what we do. Thank you so much for chatting to us today, Valerie. Enjoy the rest of the day.
Thank you. Thank you. Hi everyone, this is Valery Petrus, V's Driving School co-founder and instructor. For the learners out there who would like to join us, you can hop in my car anytime, any place. We will pick you up and then we'll have fun on the roads of Walvis Bay. For the business people out there, let's keep on striving, let's keep on pushing. I know it's not easy, but we have been pulling through, and thus far, due to COVID-19, we couldn't really do that much, but we have managed to pull through. For the drivers out there, kindly be patient with all the learners. Kindly have patience so that all the learners can find peace and comfortability on our Namibian roads. Driving tips: always be vigilant. Have your seatbelt on, drive the speed limit, and keep focused. Be focused at all times. Have your mirrors adjusted at a certain point whereby you can see the cars behind you, and always have your head up when you are driving. For the road rages out there, whoa, one thing I totally hate, seriously, honestly, is to be hooted. And when people out there hooter a learner that's busy with a lesson, it's really frustrating towards that learner. Let's give them that peace to be able to share the roads with us in order for them to know what it's like to be on the Namibian roads. I thank you so much.
This is our happy song. Take this ring and put it on a perfect smile, a perfect fit. We can't go wrong. Hey, let's stop the world. Just a boy and girl. Today we'll start together. Today we'll start forever. Ever, ever, oh. Ever, ever, oh. Today we'll start. What if we laughed?
In today's weather report, the sun was out 16 minutes past 6 and was set 16 minutes past 7. Walvis Bay will experience a maximum of 20 degrees Celsius with a minimum of 13 and a maximum of 20 degrees Celsius predicted for tomorrow. A west wind will prevail with a speed of 13 kilometers per hour. The sun was out 16 minutes past 6 and will set 15 minutes past 7. Swakopmund will experience a maximum of 18 degrees Celsius with a minimum of 14 and a maximum of 18 degrees Celsius predicted for tomorrow. A west wind will prevail with a speed of 11 kilometers per hour. The sun was out 18 minutes past 6 and will set 15 minutes past 7. Henty's Bay will experience a maximum of 18 degrees Celsius with a minimum of 14 and a maximum of 18 degrees Celsius predicted for tomorrow. A south-southwesterly wind will prevail with a speed of 13 kilometers per hour. The sun was out 6:15 and will set 13 minutes past 7. Arandas will experience a maximum of 26 degrees Celsius with a minimum of 18 and a maximum of 28 degrees Celsius predicted for tomorrow. A southwest wind will prevail with a speed of 11 kilometers per hour. The sun was out 13 minutes past 6 and will set 10 minutes past 7. Usakos will experience a maximum of 34 degrees Celsius with a minimum of 13 and a maximum of 36 degrees Celsius predicted for tomorrow. A west wind will prevail with a speed of 11 kilometers per hour. The sun was out 12 minutes past 6 and will set 9 minutes past 7. Karibub will experience a maximum of 34 degrees Celsius with a minimum of 13 and a maximum of 36 degrees Celsius predicted for tomorrow. A southwest wind will prevail with a speed of 11 kilometers per hour. And last but not least, the sun was out 12 minutes past 6 and will set 8 minutes past 7. Omaruru will experience a maximum of 36 degrees Celsius with a minimum of 14 and a maximum of 38 degrees Celsius predicted for tomorrow. A southwest wind will prevail with a speed of 11 kilometers per hour. And that was it for your weather report.
Unfortunately, that brings us to the end of today's episode of Erongo Talk. Just a reminder, it's 53 days until Christmas. Hence, I'm at the Christmas tree. So you can follow us on Facebook, on Twitter, and on Instagram. You can check out our website. That's www.erongo.com.na. That's www.erongo.com.na for all the latest news happening here in our mighty Erongo region. You can also get in contact with us at 011 7040. That is 011 7040 on both WhatsApp and on Telegram. Now, since we're at the end of the year, the holiday supplement is going to be published at the beginning of December. So get in contact with us at 0811 7040. That is 0811 7040 if you want to advertise in our holiday supplement. Now, like I said, it's midweek. Hang in there. It's almost weekend. We will see you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.